Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of TimWee Presents, in which once again we look at a puzzle from the KTANE Puzzle Plethora. Today the puzzle called The Hustlers by Cloud Gaming came out. I have not seen it at all, I'm going in completely blind, but before we start, once again I've received this code from the author which I can use to check my answer. In my answer checker here, if I type some wrong answer it will say incorrect, and we will hopefully be able to use this to check if I am right. Alright, I'm going to put this in a separate window so I don't lose it. Alright, so going in blind, here we go. This is the first time I look at this puzzle. Sir, they're back. Interesting. Oh, there's quite... Oh! This is clearly referring to word qualities. Right? We had in the old KTANE Puzzle Hustle, we had a puzzle called Word Qualities. Oh, but this one did have the letters in, and this one doesn't. Now let me just very quickly make sure that this is not a display issue. If this also doesn't display in this browser, yeah, then that is very likely intentional. Alright, let's go through the things that I can quite easily discern. So first of all, this is very likely a bog standard nonogram. This one here very likely refers to another puzzle from the KTANE Puzzle Hustle, which is Base of Operations. That looks very similar. Alright, and this time, so the original one used rule seed 1 and 2, and now we're looking at 3 and 4. And some of the digits are zeros, presumably because the X-ray manual. So this deals with the X-ray module, and as you can see, if I put a different rule seed in, I get different symbols. But none of the values in the table are zeros, so that's probably why the authors put these zeros in there. Alright, so I'm going to put these side by side. I'm going to create a new Firefox window, put the X-ray... oh, there we go. That works, I guess. Now I have 3 Firefox windows. There we go. Alright, now I can put them side by side. And here we go. Ooh, there is a rule seed 5 as well. Okay, that's pretty cool. Alright, let's go. We have this plus that. That would be a 3. Then we have a 0. Then we have... You know what? I'm gonna put the... I'm gonna put this here. There we go. So I want to see the whole table like this. I guess that works. And then... There we go. Alright, now I can... Whew. Okay, so we want the mushroom and the spade. That would be this one. That's a 1. And then we want the molecule, which is here, and the tulip. That would be a... that would be a 3. Then we have this L shape and the lollipop. That is a 2. Then we have a Zulu and a peace sign, that is a 2. And by the way, if at this point you feel like fast forwarding through the video, I don't blame you. But I'm gonna go through this. I'm kind of enjoying this. I think, you know, I mean, people call me a narcissist. And yeah, maybe I am, because I love this because it is a throwback to one of my own puzzles. So it's a bit of an honor. So now we're moving on to rule seed 4, which has this upside down table, a picnic table, but flipped. Table flip, there you go. Alright, so that's a 3, and then we want this upside down psi. I wonder why... Yeah, it seems to scroll down a little sometimes. Not quite sure why it does that. So we have a 5 here. Then we have the T. It did it again, didn't it? That is very strange. Alright, and then the Yankee, that is a 5. And then a 0. And then we have this thing here with the, I think that's Neptune or Saturn. I think it's Saturn. No, it's not Saturn. It's Jupiter. That's what it is. Then we have 4. Then we have another 0. Then we have the upside down T with that, and that is a 3. And then we have this with the lollipop, and that is a 2. Okay. Next one, we have this oh yeah, rule seed 5, this pill with the Pac-Man facing up. Then we have the upside down tulip, and that one is Saturn. This time I have it. Then we have this with the Papa, that would give us a 5. Then we have a Victor with a star, and that gives us a 2. This one. let's keep our concentration here. Let's do that, and then the 2 moon shapes, I guess. And then we have this with the spade. It's a 2, and this is 1 digit less than the others. You can see that this line here has 1 more than this. So this looks correct. Now, in the original puzzle, the idea was to convert this from base 6 to some other base, namely base 30. But before I do that, I'm going to take a look at the rest of the puzzle, because there's a good chance that this will tell me to convert this to a different base. Alright, let's take a look at chord qualities, right? Which is here. And the arrows, because we don't have any letters here, I don't really know how to do this. Alright, let's take a look at, this is obviously a reference to abstract art, which is, I don't want to open the solution page, there we go. It consists of red, green, blue, and brightness color channels, so it's 4 different color channels. But in this case, on the left side, it seems to be, I don't know, maritime flags. Maybe these are with the rule seed, because they're not standard maritime flags. But the rest is obviously numbers. Oh, maybe those numbers are the rule seeds. Alright, this is gonna get interesting, but maybe I should... okay, I know what this is a reference to, but I think I want to do the nonogram now. So I'm going to open a Google Sheet, and I hope that I can literally just copy and paste this. Yes, I can. Very good. Alright, let's do this. In fact, let me set this to a very specific width. I want to change the column widths. Okay, come on, Google Sheets. You can do this. I believe in you. Thank you. Alright, let's give that a nice round 30, and let's make these a nice round 30. There we go. And obviously we need a column on the left for these numbers. So let's put those there. Let's right align them and make it wide enough. Now, this is one of those things about Google Sheets, but there is a trick. I can just put an apostrophe in front and then copy and paste this, and that will fix that. Alright, now let's make this a little more readable. Font size 14, I guess. Let's make this centered. And okay, so with that, I'm happy I've transferred the puzzle, so now I'm going to solve it in here. So let's set all of the borders, and then give a thicker border, give a thicker border to the outside, but a thinner border to everything else. Oh, come on. There we go. And of course, something always goes wrong. Something always goes not the way that you wanted it. Alright, I'm going to move this a bit to the right so it's more in the center of the screen. Alright, now, finally, I can do this. Alright, 1 space, 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is already filled. Alright, now, here's what I'm going to do. A lot of people use, like, dots or something to represent cells that they know need to be white. But I think it's much cleverer to just start with all of it gray and then mark them white when you know that they have to be white. So this is what I'm going to do. These obviously have to be white because the row starts with a 1, and then the ones where the row starts with a 2, these need to be black, and then have a white after that. So these are all white. And now we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. We already have 4 of them, so this is actually an immediate given. This must be 3, and then a space. This must be 1. Okay, now since this one starts with a 3 and there's already a black here, that must be all 3 of those. And we don't know which of these are the 2 ones. Right, this one here must start with a 3. I don't know if it's these 3 or those 3, but I'm gonna just checking if I'm still recording. Okay, I don't know if it's these 3 or those 3, but either way it's going to be the middle 3, and that gives us something here, because we know that, in fact, that pixel already gave us that, so I could have done that straight away. Now, since this column only has 1s, that means this one must be white, and yeah, I can't tell whether that could still be white if the 1, 3, 2 fit here, and they do. So I'm not going to do that just yet. Okay, let's take a look at the rightmost column. We have a 6, and then a 1, whoops, and then a 3. So that is not completely defined, but at least these have to be on. Right, so this is a 2 at the end of the row here. We have to have a 2 here, 3 here, 2, then 1, then 2, and a 1 here and a 2 there. So these are black, and then these are all set off with a single white. There we go. And this column here has 3 and otherwise only 1, so that's empty. Let's see, yeah, that has to be empty because this can only be a 1 group now. And similarly here at the bottom, so that has to be white. Let's see, 2, 3, okay, the 3 could still be anywhere here. And there are no other really big numbers, so I guess at this point it's going to start getting a little, ooh, why didn't I see that? We have 2 1s here, so obviously that is white. That puts the 3 down here, and then that has to be white. We don't yet know whether, wait, actually we do, maybe we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 3. Aha, there is no other way to fit all of those in here, so those have to be white. Okay, 2 and then 1, 1, 1. Okay, that's not definitive yet. What about this one? Aha, this one has to have at least a black in the middle. Let's see. We could have 2 and then 1, so that doesn't help that much. At least not yet. This column only has 1s, so this must be white. And this row only has 1s except for the 2s. Never mind, that could be, yeah, okay, let's see, this one looks like a lot, 2 plus 1, 1, 1, and then a 3. Aha, that means at least those 2 have to be black, which means that has to be white because that column only has 1s. And in fact, 1, aha, there's no other way to fit that remaining black in there, and because this one ends with a 3, that has to be black. Alright, now let's take a look at this column. We have 4 1s, then a 2, then a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, then a 2, then a 1. There is no other way to fit this. Yeah. So these all have to be black, and the rest of that column has to be white. Okay, let's see. What about this one now? 1. Oh no, that one doesn't have much at all. This one here has to have a 3 cell sort of strut out. Okay. Alright. 1, 1, 3, 2. Yeah, I already looked at that. Let's see. How many 1s are there? There are 7 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gosh, I could have done that straight away. These all have to be black, and the ones in between are white. Okay, and this row only has 1s, so that's set off with white. This row, well, could this be part of the 3? Yes, it can, if you have 1, 1, and then 3. But either way, this one here cannot be black, because if this was black, then this would have to be part of the 3, and then there is no more room for the 2 1s. So this one is definitely white, regardless of whether this is a 1 or a 3 thing, right? And then here, again, it's the same logic, right? Regardless of whether this is the second or the third one, this one has to be white. And here, Right, we don't know about this one. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Aha. So we only have 4 spaces to put ones. Now in the bottom one we don't know which one it is, but the other 3 we do. So 2, 1, 1, 1, 2 we don't know. This one we don't know. This one we don't know. 1, 1, 3 we don't know. 2 and then a 1. Yeah, this one we don't know. 1, 1, 1, 3, 1. We already have the 3 in this row, so this one has to be a 1. So these have to be white, but we don't know if the remaining 1 is here or here. Right, then we have 2, 3, 2. There's obviously not enough space between these whites to put a 2 or a 3 in there. And that means that the only places for the 3 here overlap in one cell, so we can mark that black. And because this row ends with a 1, that makes this white. And then in this row, the 3 has a lot of leeway, but this one has to be part of one of the 1s, which makes this one white. Alright, and also the fact that this one here ends with a 2 also means that would have to be white, because otherwise that would form a 3 group. Right, where else can we go? Let's see, this column, since we have that white here now, this needs to be, yep, that has to be the 4th 1, so that is done. So now this is definitely part of the 3 clue, which means nothing at all. Alright, so we don't know that yet. Let's see, there are 5 1s here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they could theoretically fit in here, so we don't know if either of these here are white. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other stuff. 1, 3, 1, 3. 1, 3, 1, 3. Aha. So that one definitely has to be black in order to appease that last 3, and because that satisfies the entirety of this row, that means this has to be white, and now there are still lots of places to put the 1s there, so that doesn't I was hoping for a bit of an avalanche of deductions, but we didn't get it, unfortunately. Let's see. Alright, we already have 3 1s here, and then we need another 3 and a 1. So the 3 is here at the earliest and here at the latest. So either way, this cell has to be black. The 3 can't be here, but it could be either that, or it could be that and then the 1 would be here. So either way, this one is definitely black, and then that one has to be white because of the column. And same reason for the column, these all have to be white because the column contains only 1 groups. Alright, now let's see if I can fit, oh yeah, I can. There's lots of space for the 1 there. Same here. 1, 1, 3, 2, bingo. Nothing can fit in here, that has to be white, and the 3 row has to go here. Yeah, no immediate deduction on the verticals there, but we'll get to that. I have a suspicion that there are more rows where I can do this. 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, not here, not here, not here. 1, 1, 3, 1, no, not here. 2, 1, 1, 1, bingo. The only way to place 3 1s in here without crashing into this block of 2s, which has to become a block of 3 obviously, is this. And so that is white. Then we have 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, and then we have 2, 3, 2. Aha, now that we have a little gap here, that obviously cannot be a singleton, therefore the 3 is over here. And finally 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, yeah, that could be anywhere. Now this column ends with a 3, so this has to be black. And now this has to be white, because otherwise it would form a group of 4, and that is not allowed in this row. So that finishes off the 3, and now we have this column finished off as well, so all of that is white. And there is one more 1 to place in either one of these 2 places. Let's see if we can figure out which one it is. So this one needs 5 1s. Certainly this one is going to be white then, which we also knew from here. So now the only Ah, look at that. The 1 has to be here. There's no other place, excuse me, to put that. And the 3 has 2 possibilities, but they overlap in 2 cells, so those have to be black. Now, look at this. If this were black, that would make a group of 4, which we can't have, or at least 4, and it obviously can't be the group of 6. So that has to be white, the 3 has to be down here, the 1 is set off with a white. Ah, this is beautiful. Beautiful logic that that cloud gaming has made for us here. So that's a 3, and then white, and one of these has to be on. I don't know which one yet. Alright, let's take a look at this. Obviously the 3 must be finished here. And do we have... Yep, that row is already filled, already satisfied, so that is a white. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more white in that column. Let's go through the columns in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 3, 1, 3. Okay. Ooh, the top row is interesting. No, unfortunately, still 2 possibilities. Alright, 2, 1, 2, 1. Obviously, this has to be a 2 group, so it's set off with a white. And so we either have this be a 2 group, in which case the 1 would be somewhere in here, or we could still have the 2 on the top. Those would both work. This one here, however... Ah, no, we placed this white. Yeah, but unfortunately we still don't know which one of these it is. Alright, let's keep moving. 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so we've got 4 of them. We don't know where the 5th one is. Aha, 2, 1, 2. Since this is the bottom group, that has to be the 2, so that has to be set off with a white, and then the next one has to be the 1 group, so that's also set off with a white. This is great. And that leaves only this space to be the 2 group, which means the rest of this is definitely white. Okay, so that will hopefully... Yes, it has disambiguated this. This can now no longer be a singleton because there are 3 ones before it. This has to be the 3 group, and that completes the row, which tells us where the 6 goes in the last column. And then here, we still need to place a 1 there, so that's not... Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, we need a 1 here. This column has to start with a 2, so that's definitely black, followed by a white. This one has to start with a 1, so it's followed by a white. And it has to have the 3, and then a 1 and a 3. Okay, they could be anywhere. 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1... this one here. Bingo. 1, 1, 3, 1. That is definitely a black, which disambiguates this one, and then that has to be here to finish that row. And this now has... It still has only 4 of them. Okay. 3, 1, 3, 1. So this can no longer be black because, you know, this 3 block can only go either like this or like this, but not here. So that is definitely white. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We still need to place a 1 in here. 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so the question now is whether this is actually ambiguous. I doubt that it is. I don't think cloud gaming would create an ambiguous puzzle, but I'm going to put in a hypothesis. Oh, look at this. This row is already satisfied. I didn't see that. Look at that. That has to be white, which leaves only 1 space for the 5th one in this column, which means that one here has to be set off with a white, and that tells us where the 3 block goes. Whoops, that has to be black. And this row is now completely satisfied, so that is white. So now the only place... Oh, that column is also satisfied now. So the only place to put the remaining 1 in this row is here, and then this column is satisfied, so that is white. So we've solved the nonogram. Now, in the previous puzzle hunt, the KTANE Puzzle Hustle, the nonogram gave us a QR code. Now, this one doesn't look like a QR code, but it might be something else. So I'm bringing out my smartphone here, and I'm using a scanner. And I want to see if it can scan this as a... Indeed! That gives me a product code, an EAN, probably European article number. I studied what's it called, barcodes at some point. So, okay, so this is the X-ray throwback puzzle, and this is the nonogram, which gives me 3224319210968. That is the product code that my barcode scanner here extracted. So far so good. So with that we've done the nonogram, and I guess I can yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that spreadsheet tab here just in case we need it again, and then I'm going to minimize this for now. Alright, so that's those two. Now I'm going to do this one here, which is easy as pie. Alright, let's remove the new lines. Okay, so let me quickly show you the original puzzle, which looked like this. So the solution here was that the middle letter was you know, an operation like multiply or subtract, but in this case apparently the numbers were already given. Oh, but there is also these here. Oh, this last one is a reference to well, you see, in Elias's puzzle hunt, let me click the okay, so in Elias's puzzle hunt, there was something called over and under, which used lots of these sort of numbers of things from modules. And I think we had, oh yeah, the chemistry puzzle was like that. The Labcoat, put your Labcoat on, that's what it was. Okay, so this is a mashup between this and that. Alright, so let's go through these. Now, is Hunter a mafia name? Hunter. Yes, it is. Alright, so I'm gonna assume that these are mafia names. So that's a 5. Ronnie is a 42. Cher, if I can type it correctly, is the 35 down there. Brienne is a 4. Diane is a 21. John is a 7. Stacy is a 20. Tim occurs twice, and Tim is a 2 in both cases. Then Gary, come on, I know I can type. Gary is a 31, and finally we have Thomas, which is a 37. And now I'm going to say S dot is subtract, A dot is add, M dot is multiply, M dot is multiply, and there is no division in here. Alright, Simon Spin's properties. I'm pretty sure that was 20, but let's take a quick look. Let me look at that. Yep, it goes from 0 to 19, so I'm gonna say that is 20. Curriculum classes, that was 8, wasn't it? Oh no, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's 10. Adventure game items. I do not remember adventure game that well. So weapons are probably not counted because this is explicitly labeled items. And I'm sure the same is true. Yep, the same is true in the original manual. So how many is this? This is 16. Keypad symbols. Ooh, that is a little ambiguous because keypad has rule seat support. But I'm going to assume that they mean default rule seat. Ah, damn it, I can't. Okay, so what is the easiest way to find the number of unique symbols? I'm going to copy and paste this HTML code. Let's do that. Make this reasonably small so I can see it all. Get rid of these. Okay, and also these. And so what I'm actually looking for is all of the things that follow keypad symbol image. So let's first of all mark everything that contains this with a character at the start, and then remove everything that doesn't start with that, with that character. So there you go. Okay, and now I can simply erase all of this. and then just uniqueify all of this. There we go. All right, so it turns out that at least in rule seed 1 there are 27 of them. Okay, so I'm gonna say 27, but I'm gonna put a question mark there in case rule seeds are included, which at this point I kind of doubt, but alright, Mineseeker colors. Let's see. Not Wikipedia. Why am I going to Wikipedia? Mineseeker. How many colors are there? Let's count these. That is 14. Digital cipher ooh, again, that is a little bit ambiguous because I don't know if it's referring to the number of letters on the screen when you solve the module or the number of letters that you can potentially input. So I'm gonna assume the latter for now because I don't know what the wait, does it? Yeah, the manual doesn't tell you how many digits how many letters it shows on the screen. So I'm just gonna assume that this would refer to what's in the manual, like what you can deduce from the manual. The switch LEDs, there are 2 of those. There is a division operation that I missed. Fruits. You see, fruits didn't exist when I made the Puzzle Hustle puzzle. So I'm going to assume that's a 4. Creation life forms. Creation life forms. That would be here. Yeah, okay, the name has changed. And also it's not... Okay, there we go. Does it count the ones that... Okay, so obviously metal or sand is not a life form, but moss is a life form, and I think that never actually happens on the module. So I'm not quite sure about this one. I'm just gonna skip this for now. There are 10 mazes in 3D Maze. What do you want to bet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is definitely 10. Turtle Robot. I do not remember offhand how many this is. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There are 12 of these. Steel. Okay. So, when I did the puzzle, these were references to listening sounds. And I can see chopper here is a listening sound because it's a helicopter. And what I did back in that puzzle here, I accidentally pressed one of those sounds, is that basically $= equals 1, hash equals 2, star equals 3, ampersand equals 4, and then you just add those up. So, how do I best do this? I am going to do this, I think I'm going to do this manually. So this is 2 plus 4 plus 1, and then plus 2 more 4s, which is 8, so 15. So I'm going to say chopper is a 15. Alright, I think I can increase the font size here so I can read it better, and you can read it better. So let's see what halberd is. I don't know what this is. A combined spear and battle axe. Medieval weapons. Right. See, I didn't think of that immediately because medieval weapons, if you listen to it, yeah, that sounds more like a sword fight. But I think this is quite clear that this is what they mean. So that is 4, 1, 3, 3, 4, which gives us 8, which gives us 9 plus 6, which is 15. So that is also a 15. Interesting. Okay, aluco. I don't know what that is. Aluco aluminium or tawny owl. This is amazing because in my version of the puzzle I had I think it was Lucina, and that is the no, apparently not. I must have misremembered this, but it was the thrush nightingale. But now it's the tawny owl. In fact, I'm really curious now. If it's not Lucina, what was it? Thrush nightingale. It is there we go. It is Lucinia, and also with SC. Okay, I got it. All right, tawny owl. Excuse me. Tawny owl is this. We have 1, 2, which is a 3, and then a 3, which makes a 6, and then a 1, which makes a 7, and then a 4. That gives us 11. So aluco is 11. Now Victoria could be anything. It could be a lake. It could be Victoria's Secret or something. It could be Queen Victoria. I'm gonna come back to that later, and I'm not sure about the keypad symbols anyway. Now, ripper, there is of course something here that rips things, and it's tearing fabric. So let's see what that is. That is 1, 4, 4, 3, 4, which is 9 plus 7, which is 16. Right, now, right has multiple meanings. Yeah, it's someone who makes or builds something. Carpenter. There is no woodworking in this. I suppose a door is something that a carpenter might create, or a carpenter might work with a chainsaw. So I'm not sure about this right now, so I'm gonna skip this. Ping could be referring to ping pong, which is table tennis. So I'm gonna assume that. 3, 1, 1, 4, 1, that would be 4, and then 5, 5, that's a 10. And 20 is divisible by that, so that's very likely. Now, yeah, okay, so since I live in Germany, Google is going to give me names of German companies here. So I have a suspicion that instead of looking for things actually called that, I'm supposed to read this out loud, and it sounds like goal. It sounds like goal, which is something that someone might scream in a soccer match, which we have here, soccer match. Okay, so we have 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, which is 6, 7, 7 plus 4, that's an 11. Geshima. Tibetan, okay, we have Tibetan nuns. Ah, this is amazing. I love this puzzle, this is absolutely amazing. So we have 8 plus 2 is 10 plus another 8, that would be 18. Now, just like with the goal, I'm gonna assume that this says steel. Which one of these? I mean, the medieval weapons sound like they're made of steel. Of course, steal could also mean take away, you know, like theft. In which case, you know, that's something some people do in a supermarket, but I think that is a bit of a stretch. So I'm gonna keep going. Coast obviously is beach. So that's that, which is 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, which is 18. Okay. Now, it would be easier if this gave me A1Z26 and I could fill in the uncertainties with, you know, like trying to make a word. But since the others didn't give me a word, I don't think that that is what's going to happen. And indeed, we have an 85 here. That is obviously not a... okay, I don't know this one. This one is also... No, it's not out of range. That would be a W. So maybe I just got this one wrong, but I guess we'll look at it again later. This is obviously 4. Why am I even copy and pasting that? This is 22 times 4, so that's 88. Then we have this one, and that gives me a 7. Alright, that is a bit difficult. So if this was indeed A1 Z26, then we would have F something, then golf something, then 23 would be W something, delta something, 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 and then F again. So let me just, I don't think it's going to be this, but just on the off chance, yeah. Of course it could still be a clue phrase, but alright, I'm gonna okay, so this is the easy as dollar hash that. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to that later. Okay, let's see if I can figure out anything else here. Now this bit at the top here, it reminds me of the final meta in the KTANE Puzzle Hustle. Let's see. Which ones of these have only one selectable on them? This one here? Jack attack might do, I'm not quite sure. This one's a needy, but it looks like it has 2 buttons. let's see if the, yeah, I can see what this is. This is draw. Right, let's take a look at the manual for draw. Okay, so there are two buttons, fire and go, so it does not have just one. Encryption bingo definitely has multiple. Mafia is multiple. Light cycle has only one. I'm not quite sure about Jack Attack, but I very strongly suspect that you just click the module, so that would count. The QR code thing seems to have buttons around it, so let's quickly take a look at this QR code. There we go. Yep, these are buttons with numbers from 1 to 9, so that one does not count. And this is topsy-turvy. I believe that one has only one button. Yes. Take note of the word is hold the button. There's only one button, and the other thing is a status LED, of course. So topsy-turvy counts. USA Maze does not. Zony, Yahtzee, X-Ray. Who's that Monsplode and Valves? So if this is supposed to be valid Braille, then I must be missing potentially quite a few, but at least... Right, so this would be Bravo and then Echo November if I'm reading like those 6, but why would it be those 6? It's not Morse code either, it's not tap code. Maybe is it supposed to be semaphores? This one here is sort of pointing up and this one down right. In which case that semaphore would be a Yankee. Right, I'm a little stuck on that. So that is a bit of a bummer. Right, you know what? I'm coming back to this. I wanna yeah, that is definitely 75 plus 10. It does say multiply, so it is going to be a large-ish number, because obviously this is going to be at least 5, because every symbol is at least 1. and Hunter, you know, there's no way that we got that one wrong. There you go, that is in fact a 5. So this is definitely a number that is way greater than A1Z26. Now let's see if I can figure out which of the listening sounds is referred to by Victoria. Is there a Victoria waterfall? That could be it. I think that's it. Victoria Falls. I see. That is really cool. That is really, really cool. This is a 4, 3, 3, 1, 1. That's a 2. That's a 6. That's a 12 overall. Now, with the number of keypad symbols still question marked, I'm not quite sure about it, but that would be a 75. So now it's looking like small and large numbers are alternating. It seems to me that every other one is a small one, and every other one is a big one. That is very interesting. Okay, so right. I already investigated this, and I felt that there are multiple possibilities. It could be chainsaw, it could be door closing. Or, because the others, we had several homophones. This one could be a homophone of write, which would give us ballpoint pen writing. I'm gonna go with that. Because we had other homophones, I'm gonna assume that that is the one. So that is a 4, that is a 4, and that is a 3. That's 8 plus 3, which is 11. 77 minus 9 is 68. So my theory still holds that it is big and small numbers alternating. Creation life forms. Now I'm gonna assume that this is the number of life forms that you can actually do on the module. So I'm gonna find this lookup table thing, which yep, the name has just simply changed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's put a 9 there, and that would be 31 minus 18 plus 9, which is of course 22, which is a valid letter. It is Victor. Now steel, I'm still not sure what steel is supposed to be. I can close these other tabs. Which of these things would most refer to steel? I've already mentioned, You know, why don't I Google for this? Because I just assumed that that was a homophone, but yeah, apparently. Steel is a German manufacturer of chainsaws and power equipment. I don't know if that is intentional because I find it unlikely that. Oh, it's from the English Wikipedia. In that case, if Cloud Gaming Googled for that, he probably saw that. I'm gonna go with chainsaw. If this is wrong, if this is wrong, then that is a hell of a coincidence. And you know, I absolutely would not fault you for having that kind of red herring in your puzzle because that is almost unavoidable. So we get 16 plus 4, which is 20, and that gives us a 12, which alright, so our pattern is broken. But then, you know, what else could it be? I mean, the highest number that this could be would be 20, which is 5 times 4. So that was not going to be a large number anyway. So I think these are very likely the numbers that we're supposed to have. Now, if I look at only the letters that could be the numbers that could be letters, we get F, G, W, D, V, F. Now, obviously, that's not a word, but maybe I can do something with it. And the other numbers would be 85, 75, 60. Are these ASCII codes, maybe? I doubt it. Because 12 is definitely not an ASCII code because the printable characters start at 32. So it's not ASCII codes. It's not tab code either, because those would only have values from 1 to 5. So right now I don't know what to do with this. So let's keep going. Right, so this is the second puzzle in this thing. The first one is the, I'm just going to call it a module wall, even though the original puzzle was called Baby Don't Hurt Me. But I really don't know what to do with this. And there doesn't seem to be any hint either. I mean, the flavor text, I think is pretty clearly referring to the fact that this is a throwback puzzle. So we're supposed to go back to the original Puzzle Hustle puzzles. Okay, still don't know what to do with this, because there are no letters on it. In fact, you know, I'm going to take a quick look at this. It is actually a PNG image. In that case, the missing letters must be intentional. Let me just quickly show you what I'm actually thinking, because in the original puzzle, these are not PNG. Instead, they have actual text elements in them. And you know, you could have a situation where maybe the font doesn't load, you know, and then the characters would not show up. But that's not what's going on here. All right, so that leaves us only with abstract art. So let's take a look at this. Let me also very quickly make sure that my insinuation that these are not all valid maritime flags is in fact correct, and it turns out that it is correct. This is definitely not one of these. And neither is that one. The third one looks similar to some of them, like this, but not the right color. So let's take a look. Okay, so the first number here, I'm going to write them down in red, green, blue, and you know, I'm going to make a little table here. Red, green, blue, and then brightness, which I'm just going to call whiteness, I guess. Okay, so in red we have all of this, so only this one isn't red, so that's a 9. This is definitely a 2, because that is not red and that is not red. Everything else contains red. This has all of those, so that's a 6. And this one here, obviously all of that is red. This is red, so that's a 9. Okay, green. Yellow does contain green, so that would be a 2. And then here we have the column on the right only, so that's a 1. And here we have all of that, so that's a 2. And once again, the entire column on the right, so that's another 1. 2, 1, 2, 1. I'm suddenly reminded of the original puzzle decoded to Unicode plus a number, and then you were supposed to find the Unicode character with that number. So these could be Unicode codes, but we'll take a look at that later. So blue, right now, yellow is not blue, but this one here, I believe this is dark magenta, so we are getting a 4. And then this is this one is also blue. Everything is blue. No, the red is not blue. So that's a 9. I'm just double checking here that because it doesn't look like a 9 at all, but that is what my deduction is telling me. This one here is a 5, and then we have obviously the line on the right, and then the top, the middle, the bottom, which would be a 3, but there is this. Oh wait, yellow doesn't have blue, so that is actually a 2. All right. And then we have the brightness channel. Nothing here is bright at all, so I'm just going to assume that's a 3-digit number. Brightness is easiest to read of all of them. That's obviously an 8, that's obviously an 8, and that's a 1. Okay, now before I continue, I am going to... Oh my lord, this is a combination of abstract art with the puzzle called Bearing in Mind, which is this. And what we were supposed to do here is to look at the maritime flags manual, but with a rule sheet, and that gives you different shapes, and then this one here is the one given in the puzzle. So that is what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to look at these rule sheets and check if that flag occurs in all of them. And look at that, we have... No, we do not actually have that flag in this rule sheet, but it's possible that I read the numbers wrong. Let me just check the others. We're looking for that. Oh, I was so hoping that that would be it, but it isn't. Oh, that is such a shame. Oh! I know what's going on. I know what's going on because... Yeah. Okay, I will... Okay, so in abstract art, in the original one, right, it was not like this. It was not red, green, blue brightness, and then the next one, red, green, blue brightness. Instead, it was... it was like that. It was not read all the reds first, then all the greens, then all the blues. No, it was like this, and then you were supposed to read that in columns. So here, the first number, because it doesn't have the brightness, I'm going to assume is 924. So 924. Do we have the flag? Do we have the flag? Yes! Yes, we have the flag! Ladies and gentlemen, that is an F, and then 2198. 2198 has the flag. Where is it? Oh no, it does not have the flag. Oh, did I make a mistake? It's possible that I made a mistake. So 6258. I'm enjoying this tremendously. That is a uniform, and then 9121 is not that, and not that either. It's supposed to be blue, red, blue. So is it possible that I read 2 of the digits wrong? It is, of course, possible. So let's quickly check them. This is an awesome puzzle if that is the right answer, but if I'm not getting the right, it would be a real shame if there's just a bug in it. Okay, so I'm gonna do this, so I have them sort of lined up. So 2198. Let's see, the red is a 2, definitely. The green, this is not part of the green, this is not part of the green, it's just a 1. And then the blue, this is part of the blue, all of this is blue, and that is blue, that should be a 9. And then the brightness, this one does not have, because quote-unquote dark white is light gray, so I thought that, okay, so the last digit is actually a 6. Please, please have the flag, please, please have the flag. Yes, it is an O! So I'm gonna assume that's meant to say 4, but I want to do this, I want to go through all of this. That is in red a 9, pretty sure about that. Yeah, okay, obviously the brightness there is a 7. I actually knew that. Like when I first realized what this puzzle was, I immediately saw the 7 and then I decoded it wrong. There you go, that is in fact a Romeo. That was absolutely amazing, and I'm looking forward to doing the others. Let's go. Alright, so here, I'm not even gonna write down the numbers now because I can probably, you know what, I'm just going to take this URL, put it right here, and then just write the numbers as I get them. So the red channel here is all but the green pixel, so that would be a 6. And then the green channel is obviously a 7. The blue channel, this is not actually red, this is magenta. So the blue channel is all except the green, which is another 6. Yeah, and then the brightness channel, again, this counts as not bright, so that would be a 1. And then we are looking for this, and that is a tango. So I'm going to assume this is going to be, wait, it can't be 10, it can't be 2, and it can't be 3. So yeah, let's find out what comes next. So the red channel here is a 5, the green channel is a 3, the blue channel is another 6, and the brightness is an 8, and the flag is right here. It is TH. Alright, let's keep going. The red channel here, yellow contains red and green, so that is definitely part of the red, and that is a 3. So the green gives me, cyan does contain green, so that is a 2. The blue is, I can already see that the brightness channel is a 0. But the blue, yeah, the blue is everything but the yellow, so that would be a 6, and we find it's a V. Ooh. THV. Okay. Let's keep going. This is curious. Alright, so red is obviously a 9. Green. Yellow does contain green, so that's a 4. And once again, this is not red, this is magenta. So the blue is actually a 3. And that is an Oscar. THVO. Okay, I'm going to write them... no, because the last one is only 3 letters. Okay, let's keep going. I can do this. I believe in myself. So red here, oh, look at this, this is all green and blue mixed. So the red is definitely a 1. The green goes around like this, because magenta is red and blue but not green, so that's a 2. The blue goes into here, and then that's a 4. And then finally the brightness channel, everything is bright, so that's an 8. And the flag we're looking for is a W. This one here is once again a 3-digit number, so the red goes down here, so that's a 3. The yellow does contain green, but magenta doesn't, so that is a 7. And then the the blue channel, see, I already thought it was going to be a 3, but then there is a connection here, so that makes it a 6. And the brightness channel is nothing at all, not even a 0. Oh yeah, of course, that makes it just a 3-digit number. I'm getting a bit of a brain freeze here. So we have an echo, and then finally, that's not what brain freeze means, is it? Alright, red is a 7, green is also a 7, blue is an 8, and then the brightness channel is all but the bottom left, so that's a 9. I am wrong about... yeah, how did I get 7 for the green? The green is a 9. No, because it has this as well. So green is actually an 8, but blue, because yellow doesn't have blue, the blue one is a 6. I was way too hasty there. Let's see, where's the flag? We're looking for that one. Okay. Fourth vowel. Okay. A-E-I-O. Okay. So I'm going to assume that this means fourth vowel, which is an O. Alright. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, this is interesting. I'm still thinking about this wheel, and I'm starting to think that, it doesn't. I mean, if the yellow is the Charlie, right, then obviously this will be a specific chord quality, but the chord quality doesn't actually depend on the root. So even if I were to shift all the notes around, I would still get the same chord quality, just a different root note. But then, the different root note would translate to a different chord quality in the answer. So actually, that is significant. So I cannot solve this without knowing the letters. Alright, let's take another look at this X-ray thing. Now, in the original puzzle, I was converting this from base 6 to base 30. But in this case, that doesn't seem to give us only letters. Unless, of course, I made a mistake. So I'm going to go through all of the bases and see which ones of these give me only letters. Although that is a bit trial and error. Oh, there's a 0 in there. That is a lot like trial and error. I don't think the puzzle would require this. That is also a 0. Now we're just gonna get more and more digits. Okay, so unless there is another hint at what base I'm supposed to convert from and to and from, I don't know how to approach this. So I'm just gonna try the other two, because maybe I made a mistake on the first number. That's of course possible. No, that also gives me some other. Alright, let's actually write down what this says, because I think I realized something just now. Nope. See, for a moment there I thought these are all hexadecimal digits, so I could do another base conversion, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Alright. Let me take a look at base of operations. It is 6 to 30. It's definitely 630. That's what it says here. Convert from base 6 to base 30. I'm stumped by this. This puzzle is absolutely awesome so far, but I don't know what to do with these. Okay, even if I don't know what to do with them, I should probably still write down what these are. So this is 11GK4. So for a very brief moment there, I thought, hey, wait, serial numbers? KTANE serial numbers? But no, of course, serial numbers have 6 places, and these are 5, 5, and then 4. So let's see if I can read anything into this. It doesn't look like it. It looks like gibberish to me. Alright, so just on the off chance that Cloud Gaming was thinking of a different base there, let's write these down. And yes, I realized that that one was actually the bottom one. So this one is that, and that is a digit 9 and a letter India. So that also doesn't give me anything immediately meaningful. Alright, let's see. What does the nonogram give me? That was a European article number. Oh, maybe I should look up that European article number. No, there is no such. Even the number doesn't have any Google results anywhere in the world. That is amazing. Right, so that means I need to do something else with that number. What happened in the original puzzle is that the QR code took you to a KTANE log file, which would contain the rest of the puzzle. I very highly doubt that there is a log file with this code in it. Yeah, no, that doesn't exist. And besides, I was about to say, besides, Cloud Gaming wouldn't know if I might have deleted the log file, but that is definitely something that he might not have thought of. That if I purge the log file from the server, he would not know about it. unless he kept checking the file. But anyway, I don't think it's that. So I have to do something with that number. And I have a distinct lack of letters here. I was hoping that this X-ray thing would give me letters that I could put onto this wheel. I suppose technically it did give me some kind of letters. Wait a second, there are 12 positions in this, and these are 12 things. But this is more than 12, this is 14 things. Also, we have 3 sections here, one for rule sheet 3, one for rule sheet 4, and one for rule sheet 5, and only 2 sections on the wheel. But one of these sections has 5. Oh, wait, and this one... Oh, I see. No. One of these has 5, and the other one therefore must have 7, because they add up to 12. Yep, it is 7. Okay, I'm kind of stuck here. Alright, so in summary, I don't know what to do with the module wall. I was hoping that it would be Braille by looking at the ones that have only one selectable, because that's what you do in the meta puzzle. Is there any other puzzle in the Puzzle Hustle that has such a table of... No, I can't think of one. Let me just very quickly go through the list. Alright, so in the Puzzle Hustle, so we're looking for something that has these modules. Let's see. Backwards Bomb definitely has modules in it, but not in that kind of arrangement. Equivalency is not it. Graph paper is not it. It's none of these. Nibbles, that is the one with the... Yeah, it's not that, obviously. This is not it either. Second, this is the one with the nonogram. Snake Charming is a sequel to Nibbles. Not sure if I should spoil everything here, but you know, since this is a throwback puzzle, by now you would have known that the rest of this video was going to contain spoilers. So stop watching here if you don't want any more. Let's see. It's not that. It's not that. So yeah, no, it's also not any of these. So this is the only one where that seems to apply. Now, in the first step of because this is a meta puzzle, right? The first step in this puzzle is to take the answers that you've already got, which are all module names, find them here, and then because it says something about round like a record, you have to record the first letters of the modules around the ones. But in this one here, we don't have feeder answers, so I don't know where to start. But what I can do is I can write down the first letter of each of these modules. So I guess I'm gonna try that, and I'm going to use this here to figure them all out. So we have A, B, A, B, C. Oh my word! Why didn't I think of that? Hexamaze, Instructions, Jack Attack, Know Your Way, Light Cycle, Mafia. They are alphabetical, and I should have realized that there are 26 of them. That is just absolutely amazing. That is a really cool idea. So the ones that have one selectable were these, and they are Charlie, Juliet, Lima, and Tango. That also doesn't look like much. Hey, this is so weird. But definitely a really, really good idea to just have them alphabetical like this. What else could I look for apart from ones that have one selectable? What other criterion could there be? I'm also, while I'm talking, I'm also kind of making sure that I didn't miss one that has only one selectable, but I don't think any of the others applies. So we have CJLT. Okay. And here we have FGWDVF. I don't know what to do with that, and I don't know what to do with these. This is all very, very interesting but difficult. So the bottom part is the only one that I have solved completely. I'm fairly confident that apart from the letter O, there is nothing else that I need to... okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4... So there are 5 sections set off with a line. So if there is a 5-letter module that ends in O, then I'm gonna call that in as an answer, even though it's a pure guess. But let's see if there is. Let's just select all of these. Come on, let's just scroll to the bottom. Find me all of the... first of all, let's replace everything that isn't a letter or a new line. There we go. And now find me anything that has exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 letters, then an O, and there isn't one. Okay, so at least in terms of module names, there is nothing. But of course there are tons and tons of 5-letter words that end in O, such as, for example, radio. Oh, but I see, there is the radio, that's why I didn't find it. But let's just try radio. That's not the answer. Video, let's try video. It's also incorrect. And let's try metro. Come on. Metro, piano, and audio, I guess. I suppose I should probably try all of them, Diego. And I think I'm going to restrict this to single words. Tokyo, I suppose, is a possibility. But I feel kind of bad for just trying out. So I'm going to stop after the first full screen of results. So cargo, yeah, Anglo is already an extremely unlikely word. Mario, I guess, photo, and Paulo, that's part of Sao Paulo, but there, it's none of those. And it would be funny if it turns out it'd be Idaho. But now that I've said this, I have to try this just to make sure it's not that. But I have to stop somewhere. So, yeah, let's close this. Maybe the first letter has to be one of those. C, J, L, or T. In which case, we have 3 letters, and the first one was C, J, L, or T. So I've already tried Tokyo and cargo. Alright, what if the second letter has to be one of these? That would severely restrict this, because, if the first one is one of these, then the second one, like TW, seems to be the only combination that is at all reasonable. So let's try this, F, G, W, D, V, F, and I'm just going to put the L in for good measure because we're at the 12 here. And then, of course, all of these words are just, rare and obscure words. So I don't think it's that. Okay. What else can I do? So, the fact that these alternate up and down irritates me. Okay. The nonogram comes before the X-ray word qualities puzzle. Okay, I think I am going to need a hint on this. So I'm going to ask for a hint from the authors at this point. Oh wait, I can't do that yet because there is a limit of 24 hours before you can ask for a hint. So, yeah. So I'm going to resume this recording if I have any more ideas, and then, I will come back to it. But if I don't have any more ideas within the next 24 hours, then I will ask for a hint, and then we will see where this takes me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I told you that I would be back if I have another idea. Now, you may notice that I have some additional stuff here, which is of course gibberish. What I did here is I alternated between using A1Z26 and using ASCII. So this would be the ASCII code for uniform. But the reason I resumed the recording is because I suddenly realized that by writing only one of the two puzzles that this is a mashup of, I precluded myself from realizing that the other puzzle, which was called Put Your Labcoat On, actually dealt with chemical elements. So I want to see what happens if I look at the chemical element table and convert all of these numbers according to their chemical elements. So let's get rid of this nonsense and let's reduce this in size. Now 7 is obviously nitrogen. 85 is astatine, we get AT. NATO, this is promising. We have a re-23 reverse, revamp. 68 would be down here, reverberate, echo. It's going to be echo. Reverberation 22, TI 12 is okay, so that's MG, so I guess that should have given me an 8. So that should have been an 8. And then 7 is N. So this is the only one, oops, this is the only one I got wrong. So let me just very quickly check what this is. This is, yeah, it's the one where it is probably not the chainsaw after all, because 3D Mazes is completely unambiguous. That is definitely a 10, and Tim obviously is a 2. So the number that we should have gotten, because we want that to be an 8, is 2 plus something minus 10 is equal to 8. So if we add 10 on both sides, we get 18. Subtract 2, we get 16. So we wanted that to be a 16. Now obviously to go through all of the listening codes to figure out which one is 16 would be a little bit laborious. So I'm going to do it in code. Let's see, I'm just quickly going, in fact I'm going to copy and let me go to the original manual that doesn't have these audio clips. So I can take a copy of all of this, like that, change all the tabulators to, I don't know, equal signs or something. And all the new lines to commas, like that. Alright, so now we have this all in one line, so I'm going to call this data, and I'm going to split the data at the commas, and then for each piece, I'm going to split that at the equal sign, which gives me a set of arrays, and then each array, the name is going to be the first element, and then the code is going to be the second element, but the what we want is we want the value. And the value is, of course, take every character from, yeah, let's just take the sum of those characters, and for each character, let's see, easy as 1, 2, 3, we have $, hash, star, and ampersand. We want the index of that character and then +1 because index of would start counting at 0. So that gives us that, and then we want to find out where the value is equal to. What was the value that we wanted? 16. Alright, find out where that is 16, and then get the names of those. And then output the names with new lines. Let's run this quickly, and hopefully we will get something where steel makes sense. Interesting, it does say chainsaw. So did I actually just calculate that wrong? Alright, chainsaw, let's get this is, I did not expect that to happen. Alright, let's take a look at that. This is 42442, that is 3 4s give me a 12, and then another 4 gives me a 16. So I literally just calculated that wrong. So it was the chainsaw. Thank you very much for this great puzzle, Cloud Gaming. So that gives us an 8 for that, and the answer is NATO reverberation. which I guess I can remove all the spaces here now and just say that this is an E. Right, that means we can get rid of all of this. In fact, I think I'm going to get rid of all of that as well, because that is in the video. Alright, thank you for watching. I will come back if I have any more ideas. Oh, wait. Now that I have two letters, I might be able to find something with an E and an O, and then maybe if the first letter is C, J, L, or T, tempo. Let's just see if tempo is the right answer. It is not. I did not expect it to be. Obviously, yeah, this is not going to be CJLT. I think what we need to do is we need to determine which one of these modules. Like there's gonna be one of these. And I just gotta figure out which one. And yeah. So I don't have any ideas for that right now, so I'm going to go back to waiting for when I can ask for a hint, and I will see you again afterwards. Okay, and we're back again, and ladies and gentlemen, the credit for the next idea goes to Ghost Salt. I did not realize that every single run of black pixels here is either 1 or 3. That should have reminded me of Not a Maze, and I suspect that the main reason it didn't is because when I made Not a Maze, I gave it an even number of columns so that they would line up vertically. But in this case, it is a 13 by 13. You know, I googled for 13 by 13 barcodes to see if that is something else. It turns out that yeah, I also looked at grid matching, but that's not 13 by 13. So it turns out that obviously if it's 13, if it's an odd number, then they will not line up vertically. Now let me just quickly say that this code that I got from the nonogram last time must have been a fluke, because if you Google for EAN code, you will notice that's actually a one-dimensional barcode, so there's actually no way that this could encode that number. Instead, presumably what happened is that the barcode scanner just saw a valid row of pixels somewhere and just extracted it. So this is not it. Let's see, let's look at the white pixels, and we get dot dot dot, then we get dot dash, then we get dash dash, which is M, then we have a single dot, same. Then we have dot dash, dot dot dot, then dash. I might have made a mistake. Oh yeah, of course, dot 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 is an S. Then we have a T, then we have 4 dots, then we have another single dot. Same aesthetic. No, dot dot dash is dot dot dash, come on, that's a uniform. Ooh. Oh, sorry, it's dot dot dash dot, which is L. Same as the... Okay, that's interesting. Dash dash dash. Same as the last one? No, this is Oscar. Same as the logo. No, that's a U. Dot dot dash. Then we have dot dash dot, which is dot dash dot R. That's a dash. I think I made a mistake. Oh yeah, dot dot dash dot is an F, right? And then dot 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 is a, yeah, same as the fourth. Dot dash dot dot L, yeah, letter. It says letter. Same as the fourth letter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we haven't figured that one out yet, but I might be able to find something. Now, unfortunately, with Nutramatic, I can't do something like 2 of the same letter, but this one here, QAT, can do that. So let's find... I need to remind myself how this worked about this page. So I use dots for anything, and then we have E. Oh, it could just be Jello. Jello. Let's try out Jello. Here we go. That is also not the answer. Okay, so we want... Right, so how do I do back references? I think I can do back references with this. Let's see, back ref... No, ref... God damn it, they must have called it something else. why can't everyone just use a single standard format? So I only need to learn one. I suppose I can use this equation solver that they have, not equation solver, it's a letter solver. So I want an A, well actually I want something followed by an E, then two of the same and then an O. And I want the length of A to be equal to 1 and the length of B to be equal to 1. And let's see what that gives us. Cello. Alright. That is the right answer. Ladies and gentlemen, with that we have almost solved this puzzle. Obviously, I don't know how the rest of the puzzle works. Let's see if we can determine anything from this. So if this was supposed to give us Charlie, it's possible. Well, let me actually check if the original puzzle had light cycle on it. It definitely had crazy talk here, but it also had light cycle, so that's not it. So my theory was that maybe only one of them would also be in the original puzzle, but it wasn't that. So what is it about this one that would be the answer? I don't know. So what I've realized now is that every single one of these is a mashup of two things, right? This is a mashup of abstract art and bearing in mind. This is X-ray and word qualities. This is second glances plus not a maze. Why did I suddenly put a plus there? I don't know. And that is also a mashup, as we realize now. So this is probably a mashup between Baby Don't Hurt Me and something else. And I have to figure out what the something else is. Maybe, so what else in the original Puzzle Hustle had a list of 28 things? I can only think of one, but I don't think it's that one. So I'm gonna look through this. So it's not going to be an exclusive, is it? No. Aroma mash that deals with flavor texts. No. We need something with a row of 26 things that represent the letters. Let's see. Equivalency, that was the word search one. Yeah, it's not that. Graph paper. Yeah. When I solved the nonogram, I was kind of thinking of this, but I quickly realized that in order to be this, it would have to be diagonally symmetric, and this one clearly isn't diagonally symmetric, so I discarded that. This is not 26 things. Now maximum logic deals with all 26 letters of the alphabet. Let's take a look at the solution for this one. And indeed, look at that. Charlie, we had Juliet, we had Lima and Tango. Charlie, Juliet, I have them right here, I could have just read this. And as you can see, Charlie is true, Juliet is false, Lima is false here, and Tango is also false, because it's not encouraged. I haven't found, there it is. Alright. So maybe this is what this is supposed to be, maximum logic. So maybe, I don't know, but that would give us a Charlie, and then this would somehow have to give us a Lima. But since I have no idea where to even start here, I'm going to wait for the hint, but I'm also going to submit the right answer. So I'll tack on a summary of the rest of the puzzle afterwards. So see you again then. And here we are for the final time, because the solution is now apparent to me. Now there are a few. Jesus, I am so annoyed that I didn't think of the obvious things. Right, so for the first puzzle, this is a mashup of two puzzles, but it's not maximum logic as I surmised, it is redundancy. I did mention in my previous recording that redundancy did have, it did deal with the, it did deal with the alphabet. But what didn't occur to me is that it deals with the actual KTANE module called alphabet, which I can type, I swear. And in alphabet, one of the possible words is TJL, which leaves you with the Charlie. So the answer here is Charlie, because that is how the redundancy puzzle works. You identify the 3 letters from alphabet and then take the letter that is left over. So that's the first part solved. We've already done this part and this part. Now this one here, again, I just didn't do the same thing that you were supposed to do in the original puzzle. What I did is I took each of these 3 numbers and converted them from base 6 to base 30. But that is not what you do in the original. What you do in the original is you put them all together into a single number and then convert that from base 6 to base 30. And that gives you Michael Caine, which incidentally has 12 letters. And also I can put those letters here in such a way that Michael and Caine are each set off by those lines, which means that Michael will have the echo here, which means that we then have Foxtrot Golf. So the chord given by this, I'm going to put that up here, the chord given by this wheel is Golf, and then we have Alpha, Bravo, then Charlie, and then Delta Sharp. And this is Charlie Sharp, Delta, Delta Sharp, and then we have the echo from Michael. Alright, so let's go to chord qualities and solve this. We have Golf, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta Sharp. Alright, our differences here, or distances rather, are 3, 4, 4, and then 1. Okay, so we're looking at Charlie. We want to look up Charlie here. That gives us 3, 3, 4. I'm trying to remember how this worked. Okay, so the new root is Foxtrot, so starting from here we go 3, 3, 4. So 3, 3, 4. So we get Delta Sharp, Foxtrot, Golf Sharp, Bravo. Well, actually Foxtrot first, because that's the root of the chord, and I'm willing to bet that this is going to point at the letters Lima, L-I-M-A. So let's find that out. F would be here after the E, and that is indeed the L of Michael, so that gives us an L. And then we have Foxtrot Sharp, Golf, Golf Sharp, so Golf Sharp is the 3rd letter of Caine. Alpha, Alpha Sharp, Bravo, the 1st letter of Michael. Charlie, Charlie Sharp, Delta, Delta Sharp. And that is the letter in Michael that comes before the E. We get Lima. So that is an L, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we get the answer, which is cello. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you again next time when I attempt another KTANE Puzzle Plethora puzzle. Until then, goodbye!